We are getting used to public events such as concerts and sports games to become showcases of the worst human behavior and worst public meltdowns ever. But in this case, is special because in this case, I think this is the best analogy of what's happening in the world about, communism and socialism. Let me explain. This was a baseball game between the Miami Marlins and the Philadelphia Phillies. And, what happened is that after a home run, or during the home run, the ball fell into the seats. I'm going to zoom in right here. Maybe we cannot see the ball. The ball had already, okay. I think the ball had just fallen in there. And this couple right here were almost right next to the place that the ball had fallen. And they hadn't touched the ball. But this guy right here was almost running to get the ball, and he was quicker to grab the ball. And he got it. Oh, the man got it. And most important, why was he so happy? Because it was his son's birthday. And what special, he had brought his son to the Phillies game. Huge fan of the Phillies. And he hands the ball to his son. And it's great. It's so special. A home run on your birthday. And he gives his son not only the ball, but a huge hug. But then, oh my God. I thought that this was Pocahontas. I really thought that this was Elizabeth Warren. There are some memes that we're going to watch in a minute. But then when there was this wholesome dad and son moment, there comes not Elizabeth Warren to literally put her hand on the guy's arm. And the boy was the first one to notice that not Elizabeth Warren was there looking at her and claiming, "Hey, that is my ball. That is my ball." And this is the part that created the controversy. And this is the part that we are going to discuss right now. The reaction of the dad. The dad is completely flabbergasted, confused of what is going on. I think that even the kid has better posture than the sudden reaction of the that also does this very sudden shake, like protecting himself instead of his son. That was very odd to see, because you see a stranger right next to you, leaning onto you and your kid. The most important thing is to put yourself between your kid and the stranger. I don't care if it's a Karen or if it's a guy. That is common sense, because you don't know the intentions of this, not Elizabeth Warren yelling at you because of a ball that you got. So it was a bit strange, this, a protective gesture for himself, leaning him away from her. And the kid is still upright, looking at her, and the dad is trying to understand what happened, and she points at him as in, "I'm going to call the manager right now." He sees that she's pointed at him, all right, and he tries to understand, okay, the ball fell next to you, but he was the first one to touch the ball. That's the important thing. And she keeps leaning onto him and yelling, and all right, so he thinks for it for just a second. He points at the ball. The kid, of course, is confused. This is not happening. This can't be happening. And then the father decides the unthinkable, and the son is already, we lost this battle. And the father decides ultimately to, let me see, he is with that defeated body language to grab the ball. And this is when maybe his son was disappointed. I wouldn't say a bit disappointed, was 100% disappointed with this. This is not fair. And he hands the ball to the Karen. There you have it. And then has this very effeminate, I must say, gesture, as in this Get out of here. That was a bit. No, you don't know. You don't do this kind of gestures, please. No, that is forbidden. You never show your wrists. That is forbidden in the man's book of manners and gestures. And the Karen then goes with the ball. Another angle. People are saying that the voice of the Karen is even worse. Maybe we can listen a bit to the voice of the Karen in this clip. The exact same thing. You can see that she touched him. This is important. I'm gonna play this so you can listen to the Karen voice. That's nails on a chalkboard. And you notice how she is leaning onto him, right? And he's leaning away, and he has this, I said, the worst posture ever to confront the situation. And the most important thing is you literally have to put yourself between your kid and this stranger. It's that simple. I'm not gonna play more of that, of the voice of that woman, nasty woman. So everybody was looking at that. Karen got what she wanted, and then how. I'm gonna talk briefly about what happened afterwards. Immediately, a representative of the Marlins went to the father and kid, and they gifted them a bag with stuff. It's great that the Karen didn't go and just take the bag as well. It was great that they got to keep it. And then the Phillies did as well. They invited the kid and the father and the family to give him a signed bat, and people were saying, "Oh, this is great. So this was great in the end. What happened? No. I need to say something about this. Because there are so many problems with what happened. Even if it was great for them in the end, I think that they got tickets for the World Series. A lot of the stuff, all they won in the end. But I think this is a huge problem. I'm going to put this screenshot in here to refer to this. I think this is a huge problem. I'm going to explain you why. And why does this represent communism and socialism for me? This represents socialism because who put the effort on getting the ball and who got the ball first? It was the father, not Elizabeth Warren. No, it was the father. He ran up to the point that the ball was going to fall, and he got the ball. He had the foresight, he tracked the ball with his eyes, and he went to the spot that the ball was falling. The lady and her husband or partner or whatever were right next to the spot that the ball fell, but that doesn't entitle you to the ownership of the ball. I think it's fair to say that the one who puts the more effort into something and the one who gets the ball in the first place is the legitimate owner, because maybe somebody, it could happen, doesn't care about the ball, and even if the ball falls near them, they're not going to put as much energy into that as this father, for example. So in principle, the father was the legitimate owner of the ball. And because of that, he should have stood up to this bully, because she's no lady. She is a bully. And that is the same way liberals act all the time. They feel entitled to stuff just because it falls near them. They don't put in the effort. They don't put any of that. It's the exact same analogy in this case. So I think the father had all the right to stand his ground in between his son and the crazy liberal and tell her a word that maybe she hasn't heard in some time. No. Because that's what you should do. Stand your ground against these bullies. Because that is the only way we can get our countries back. Because that's what these people do. They feel entitled to things that they have not earned. And they are going to take what you have earned from you just because they feel entitled to it. That is a huge problem. There's another angle to this that I have to mention, and I think that this is important. The other angle is one that exposes Cernovich. The dad at the baseball game was in an impossible situation. If he didn't give that wicked Shrewd the ball, he could risk being painted as a misogynist. This has real-life consequences. From the video, it looks like she laid hands on him, though. She needs to be prosecuted. Yes, she did lay hands on him. And another answer or reply. He de-escalated it and probably told his son that he would buy him a ball. Kid ended up getting a signed bat, meeting a player, and a bag full of merch. Karen ended up all over the internet and will probably make the news tomorrow. Dad and son won. That's what matters. And again, win. That is such a relative word. Okay, they got like this prizes, but the problem is that why does this happen in the first place? That is the question that we should be addressing here. Why does this happen in the first place? This happens because we, and I include myself because I have acted this way too many times, we let the bullies win. We don't stand our ground, and that's what we should do. This is something, the moment that we stand our ground and we say, you know what, this is enough. I have the right to this. You don't have the right to this. I have the right to this. I earn this. And you tell them no. Maybe that's the only way that things could change. But I would like to know what you think about this in the comments. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Bottle Language Guy. Much love and bliss.